Are you ready, my
I'm
friend?
going to count down to 5 like Showtime, and then you're going to just hit it. In
So
5.
you say 5, 4, 3. I'm going.
In
Okay.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. Remix. Welcome back to the Dish and Taste of Ben. My name is Ben.
That was...
I'm
Chad.
on this. I have an oral fixation, and I like to chew. I like to chew on the microphone. You put this on.
We don't
like
know.
a
We don't know
madman.
whose microphone that is, so just keep
Well,
that in mind.
I was going to say you better back up as well.
God,
We tried to keep these separate and have our own microphones for a while, and then somebody got lazy. You. I hope
How was your
people
day, Ben?
can't hear Carlos chewing on a bone underneath
I hope
this
they can.
table. My day was grand. I got a new sweatshirt.
I like it. It has a puppy dog
This
on
is
it.
the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs. Sudbury Blueberry
What
Bulldogs.
show is that from?
This is from the show Shoresy, which is a spin-off from the show Letterkenny of Canadian fame. It's an incredible show written and produced by Jared Kiso. He is also the title character, Shoresy. His last name is Shore, but he's a hockey player, so they have to have a crazy nickname. So his name is Shoresy.
Shoresy.
It's a really great show. The reason I got this is because on Monday I am going to Little Sneezer's Arena, and I'm going to watch the cast of Shoresy play against a team of Detroit
Alumni.
Red Wings alumni. I'm going to read the alumni to you, and I'm going to see
I
if
was
you
curious
recognize
if
any
you-
of them.
Are they like old people or what is it?
They're alumni. That's all I
Alumni.
know. Alum.
They're all like 87
he
years
just
old.
gave a shaky shake.
They're in like wheelchair ice skate.
Not wheelchair ice skates.
That's crazy.
Okay. If I pronounce any of these wrong, I don't want to hear a word from any of you besides Chase.
All right, go ahead.
Red Wings alumni roster includes... Oh, Justin Abdelkader. I know him. Dino Ciccarelli. Or
Cool name. Sounds like a wrestler.
It's extremely Italian. De Kaiser. I don't know his first name. De Kaiser. Darian Hatcher. Jimmy Howard. Mike Nubble. Joe Cocker. The real Darren McCarty. Drew Miller. Mickey Redmond. Kevin Miller. Larry Murphy. John Agradnik.
El Grande.
Chad El Grande. Ian White. Eddie Mio Eddie, I don't know, and Greg Malicki. Malik.
What if
Greg
Darren McCarty just lights you up and just like hits you and just blasts you off onto the ice?
I'm going to say, I know Malise Hill. And he's going to be like,
who?
Malise! No, dude, they go way back.
He's
Come
like, that
on.
girl waits outside my house at night.
I hope Malise comes. I invited her to come to the thing. I hope
That'd
she
be
comes.
nice. Yeah.
Do you want to come?
I would
It's
go.
general admission.
I'd go. That'd
It's
be
Monday
fun.
night.
Oh, I would go still. What time does it start?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Anyways.
I bought the tickets. They're kind of expensive.
Anyways,
okay.
what did you do today, Ben?
Well, something that some of you might not know about me, I go for a 2-mile walk every morning, and it's been like so easy recently, and I've really been enjoying it. I PR'd for my pace for my 2-mile walk. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm proud of it, but you guys might not be proud of it, so I'm going to keep it to myself. But I PR'd.
You're like,
I went
in
faster.
4 hours.
No, the slowest I ever walked a mile was 19 minutes and 45 seconds. And it was for PE in my sophomore year of high school. Because when I was in 8th grade or 7th grade, I ran the mile in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And I was like, I will literally never top this and I'm never going to try. So I said to myself, you're never going to run the mile again. And I kept that. We got a new PE teacher my sophomore year of high school, and he's like, all right, guys, just to like see where you're all at, we're going to run the mile. And I said, Mr. Keeler, you don't understand. I made a promise to myself that I'm never going to run the mile again. And he's like, well, you like have to. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm 15 years old. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. And he's like, well, you have to. I said, okay, can I walk it? And he's like, sure, if you think that's the best. And I was like, I do think that's the best. I'm going to walk it. So I walked it in 19 minutes and 45 seconds. That day was a half day. So our classes were only 25 minutes long. So I took the entire class period to walk it. And then I said, and don't you dare ever think you can make me do anything again.
Oh my God.
And I went on to win not only the singles tournament for badminton, but the doubles tournament for badminton. And yes, there was an odd number of kids in my class. And yes, I played by myself during the doubles tournament. And yes, I still won.
Yeah, you're 7.5 feet tall. So I mean,
7 3/4.
those poor
feet
children
tall.
are like.
I wasn't even the tallest
5,
person in my high
6,
school.
You know,
I
so.
wasn't this tall in high school, first of all. Second of all,
Yeah, well-
there was a kid that I went to high school with, Dane Hayes. He was taller than me. He made me feel like a little kid. I always tried to jump on him because I felt real small, which is bad because I was still over 6 foot. That poor man.
We can edit this out.
I'm keeping it in.
I'm just kidding around.
Dane, if you're listening, great. I'd love to hear from you, bud. I saw him once after high school. He was working at a bowling alley. A really nice bowling alley. Don't you dare.
Ooh.
In my mind, he owned it. He's just searching around. But I worked today. That's what I did. He's way over there. I worked
all
today.
day?
I went for a walk this morning, and then I worked all day. I really did work all day. I got there at 11:30, and I didn't leave until 7:30. Ugh, 8 hours. Kill me.
Whoa.
But I made a lot of money, and I was really happy with my work today. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't bring her in. Do you want to go bring her in while I tell the family the rest of my day?
Yeah.
So I went to work, and then he wants to go outside. I went to work. I drove home. I came over to Chase's house. I ate my meal. I've been meal prepping. I made pasta with Cajun chicken, even though it's not chicken, it is vegan chicken. It was really good. And then tomorrow I'm going to go to the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Finally, you're back. Here comes Nana. I have a really action-packed weekend coming up, and I don't know where the heck Chase is going, but I need to tell him. What are you getting? Frozen? It's going to break your teeth.
I know.
You're going to have to suck on it like a salt lick. Shake it like a Polaroid
I'm here and I'm
picture.
ready now.
What are we?
I had to be a dad for a second.
2 questions for you. Number 1, what did you do today? And number 2, what are we doing on Sunday?
Oh my god. What did I do today? I went to the gym very early.
Mucho early.
And walked the dogs.
You walked with the P-Doggies? Mm-hmm. Talked to me on the phone for an hour and a half.
Probably.
Not probably. I can tell you exactly how long it was. Don't worry, I'll
And-
pull it up.
Then I ran around and did stuff. And then, what else did I do?
Wish
yeah.
I could tell you.
Then I went to a rental property and I
Got violent.
completely disassembled a garbage disposal and put it back together and fixed it.
Because a freak accident occurred in it. Gosh,
So-
it's so weird.
That was cool. Did that, which was cool. Like I said, I learned a lot. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
I'm like trying to like.
Yeah, you're making mouth noises.
So I'm like no. So I'm like laying down underneath the sink, and the doors are open.
Yeah.
So I'm like blocked, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And I turn my volume down on my phone, and I start YouTubing how to take this thing off.
I love that. What, they're going to try to ask
then I,
for
like,
less
literally-
rent because you don't know what you're
I
doing?
just like literally like fast forward it like quickly
Yeah,
so I
you
could see how
watch
he
it,
did
you're
it,
like,
and I was
okay,
like,
easy.
okay, I can do this, and I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing. I know I've mentioned this on this podcast before. My dad learned how to change the brake light on my mom's Buick with no sound in a YouTube video. We had the old home computer. It didn't even have speakers set up. He just watched it and he's like, I can do that. I guarantee you that was the first YouTube video he ever watched in his entire life. How to change the brake light on the Buick. He did it immediately and perfectly. If you're like logical and like smart, you can do anything. And you can take that to the bank.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to be talking about a movie.
What?
What? This is the second Wes Anderson film we're talking about.
Wes.
Honestly, I'm like super jazzed about Wes Anderson. And I want to watch more movies of him. Last time we watched a Wes Anderson movie, I bought a Wes Anderson 4-pack. And this movie was not on it, but I do want to watch Isle of Dogs and Fantastic Mr. Fox. Because I keep seeing clips from Fantastic Mr. Fox on TikTok. There's a trend to put on one of those like fox hats, and he just goes, "I don't want to live in a hole anymore," and it's funny.
Yeah, it's cool.
Internet. We're watching the movie. We watched the movie Moonrise Kingdom.
Kingdom.
That movie came out in 2012, the year of
Yes.
our Lord 2012, the year I graduated high school. Chase was a full-time piercer at that point.
Yeah.
It's a cool hour and 34 minutes. Felt great. Loved watching it. It's streaming literally nowhere. So come borrow it from us or buy it because it was pretty cheap. It's a great movie. Yeah. It's a Wes Anderson movie, but it's not like a kooky Wes Anderson movie. It's actually really like
nice.
Heartfelt.
Yeah, it's a
I
very
really
happy,
enjoyed
nice
it.
movie. Yeah.
Really liked it. Do you want to hit us with a synopsis of the movie?
I would love that.
Chadwick?
2 12-year-olds who live on an island fall in love with each other and elope in the wilderness. While people set out on a search mission, a violent storm approaches them, catching their attention.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. That storm is pretty gnarly.
It's a Violente storm.
Intense. Yeah, exactly.
So Wes Anderson's one of those directors. I'm sure you all know this. He has like a slew of actors that he always works with in all of his movies. But the funny thing about Moonrise Kingdom is this is the first Wes Anderson film without any involvement from Owen Wilson. Which I find funny, but also I like movies that Owen Wilson's in. I've seen is it I Spy with Owen Wilson and Eddie Murphy?
That's a great movie.
So sick. That was a trailer before Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire version, on the VHS, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
And the end of that movie says, "And they say that a hero can save us."
Yeah.
But yeah, what's it? Shanghai Nights and Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Noon, then Shanghai Night.
Yeah.
Nights, whatever. Great in those. And I literally is the one
Wedding Crashers,
the dog one,
Lay Dog, Marley and Me.
I
hate that movie.
I know.
It's sad as hell. Can't stand
It's unrealistic. Dogs never die, so
like
I don't know why it would ever put that in a movie. But yeah, Owen Wilson's not involved. But you know who is involved is Edward Norton, who is one of my favorite actors. Everything I've ever seen him in is incredible.
He's very versatile.
Great. Oh, I always thought he was like not typecasted, but he was always just like a dude. And then we watched Death to Smoochie, and I was like, okay.
I love that movie.
He's got chops.
It's so good. Yeah.
Death to Smoochie is an incredible movie.
It's so dark.
Any movie where Robin Williams curses is going to be a great movie.
It's a really dark movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Because he's out. Have we done a podcast on it?
I don't know.
No, we haven't. We'll do a podcast on it sometime. It's so funny. And it's really good. It's a good movie that would have good conversations.
Yeah.
You kick me one more time, I'm flipping this table. I could do it one-handed.
You couldn't do that.
I could do it one-handed.
Yeah, I don't think so. Go ahead, Ben.
So there are the two kids. There's Susie and Sam. And Susie's kind of like a book nerd. She just likes books and stuff. In the movie, when Susie is reading Disappearance of the 6th Grade at the mile 3.25 tidal inlet campground, and when she continues on to part 2 after Sam says to read on, it is just about the exact midway point of the film. The spoken words occur at 46 minutes and 59 seconds with 46 minutes and 56 seconds left in the movie. This moment also marks the transition of the film's plot. So Susie's like reading also informs the audience of the shift in the movie's tone and direction. Wes Anderson is pretty literal with a lot of stuff that he does in movies.
Yes.
So like the fact that it's like, okay, like part 2, it's like, okay, this is happening. His movies often have like title cards and there's like things that kind of like help move the story along. It's really good storytelling. Another thing that's really telling of Wes Anderson, he films everything very symmetrically, very like pastel colors. Everything is kind of like in the center of the screen when he's filming. It's just a really aesthetically pleasing filming style, and I really, really appreciate it with my specific brain.
Yeah.
The dance scene on the beach, it's about midway through because they run away, they get to the beach. We'll kind of go over the steps later. The dance scene on the beach was saved for the very end of filming so that the two young leads would be more comfortable around each other, and it was done on a closed set, which generally they reserve for like intimate scenes and anything like that where they just want it to be like, it doesn't feel like there's a cast and crew of 30, 40, 50 people around you. It's like really chill. So when they were filming this, they only had the two leads, the co-writer and director Wes Anderson, and the cameraman. So it was literally 4 or 5 people, which is like, one, they're 12-year-olds, so you want them to feel comfortable. But 2, that's the way to get the real reaction and the real kind of like acting out of somebody where it doesn't feel like acting. They're just like going through it, which I really appreciated. I thought this was a really cute quote from Wes Anderson. I'm going to have to turn this iPad a little more towards me because my eyes aren't seeing good.
Ben's reading off script.
I fully am. You think I can just do this off the head?
Yeah.
We're going to see how well that works later on in the episode. Commenting on the film's connection to the first time he fell in love, Wes Anderson had said, well, what I wanted to do was recreate the feeling of that memory. The movie is kind of like a fantasy that I think I would have had at that age. When you're 11 or 12 years old, you can get so swept up in a book that you start to believe that that fantasy is reality. I think when we have a giant crush when you're in the 5th grade, it becomes your whole world. It's like being underwater. Everything is different.
True.
Something I really thought about, I have said this before, especially at work. Like as an adult, as a 30-year-old man, I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me. Like obviously, like the thing I say at work, like, you know, I've been pierced a bunch of times. I know what a piercing feels like. It sucks, but it's like, I know what it is. Like it's a sensation that I'm aware of. When kids are coming to the shop 6, 7, 8 years old, this might be the scariest thing they've had to go through.
Sure.
While it's not scary for me because I've lived so many things, this is like the top of the line for them. Yeah. Or like this is like the scaredest they've ever been, or like the most pain they've ever felt. Like everything, the younger you are, is like the top of the like emotional roller coaster. It's the highest highs and the lowest lows. And then as you go, it does kind of expand, but all those areas get filled in.
Sure.
So when you're this young, I forgot that's going to go to sleep, whatever. When you're this young and you do fall in love, that might be the most like sincere and powerful love that you feel. So
Sure.
like as you go, I mean, it's kind of sad. Like hopefully you don't like lose that as you go, but that's a quote from Call Me By Your Name that I'll read some other time. But yeah, it's really, I really appreciate it. It does really feel like the cutest love story. It's a great movie. It really, really is.
It's a good movie.
Holy cows.
Go ahead. Are you done?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the end of the quote, the end of the questions or fun facts. I'm trying, okay?
We start our movie with basically a 12-year-old Sam. Sam is a orphan. Sam is a traumatized child. He's just like really antisocial.
Yeah.
He's a very smart child. He's very bright. He's very eccentric, I would say. Yeah. And he just stands out, but he's also an outcast. He's more of like, you as a I think kids too are, I feel like, especially savage, when it comes to like differences.
They're jerks.
Yeah, like you're a pariah quickly. Like not like it's not like you could literally just be wearing a different type of clothing or like shirt and you would get crucified. You know what I mean? Like so
I do not miss that at all.
So like, obviously he's in the Boy Scouts. So like obviously
No, he's not in the Boy Scouts. He's in the khaki Scouts.
Sorry, he's in the khaki Scouts.
Which I love.
And obviously that's like a boys club. So he gets hazed. Yeah, of course, right? So it kind of like basically immediately goes from, it's in the 60s, so it's kind of a cool, their uniforms are really cool. Their tents are so sick.
They're really like OG.
Yeah, they're really sweet.
Tents are so cool.
So cool. Yeah, everything was just so nice,
Yeah.
And it kind of goes through the park, and I love how he films things where he does like and if you notice, this is something to keep in mind from Grand Budapest too. He tends to do this thing that's like the walkthrough.
Yeah, the tracking shot.
Yeah, and it's like the main dude, he'll like walk through, and it kind of shows you his responsibilities and like who he is as a man, right? Like, and like it's just kind of like it sets that like bars, and that's exactly what it does. It's like Edward
great
Norton
storytelling.
Puts a cigarette in his mouth, and he walks his line. He walks his beat. Like he just goes right. Yep. Yeah. So he's walking, and he ends up doing like a roll call at the end of the table, and Sam's missing. Sam Shakusky.
Shkamgabuski.
Yes. So anyways, like he escapes, and it's kind of a silly way he escapes. And it kind of does a little flashback to the previous summer where he ends up meeting the girl that he falls in love with, Susie.
Yeah, Susie.
And the funny thing that he kind of meets her in a weird way. He like kind of like stumbles into like this play And he like finds his way into like the girls like
dressing
changing
room,
room.
yeah.
And it's so funny the way it is because there's like these like hangers with clothing and like costumes, and then the girls are like they're already in their costumes and they're in their vanities like in the mirror, and they're getting ready, and they're all birds. All these girls are birds. So they're all like different birds. And they have like really they're cool. They have like
such cool costumes.
Big, they're really really unique, nice costumes. And he's like, he's like, hey, and like all the girls turn around because they're all like, ew, like a boy is in here.
Boy's in here.
And they're all little girls, like they're all like the same age as him,
11 years old.
Yeah,
at that point.
And he's like, what kind of bird are you? And like one of the random girls is like, I'm a dove. Like she's a blah blah. And he's like, no. And he like points to Susie, and she's in the middle, and she's the only one that's a blackbird. And he's like, what kind of bird are you?
The autistic boy finds the other autistic child and says, who are you?
And she says,
I'm a raven.
I'm Raven. Pop quiz.
Hit me with it.
Just
right
like
in
that.
the middle?
Woo.
Oh, no. I'm
See
going to
what you can
I
do
know
when you
everything
try?
about ravens.
What is the difference between a raven and a crow?
Hit me with it. I know all of them.
Okay, here we go.
Dude, 110% right away.
I love your confidence level right now. I like when you get them right sometimes, but I also like when you don't. Letter A. The raven's beak is about a half-inch longer than the crow's. B, they have different tails. C, the raven has 4 extra feathers on each wing, giving it a longer wingspan. And D, a major difference between the two is the shape of their feet. Yeah, confidence. Go right out the window. Look at your face. You look like I drained all the hope out of your face.
All the color. Well, I know ravens are a lot bigger than crows.
Okay. Yeah.
So number 1 is plausible. Option A is plausible.
Option A.
C is plausible.
Okay.
Is option A not it?
Oh, I thought you thought option A was option C.
Oh, I think they're both plausible.
Okay. All right, cool. Continue.
Okay. Option D is also plausible. I don't think what's the last one? Their tails are different.
Yeah.
Option B. Mm-hmm. I don't think their tails are very different. Their tails are very similar. From my knowledge of ravens and crows, like if you're looking at a crow and you're like, is that a raven? You would know if it's a raven because it's like shockingly bigger. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that option C, the 4 extra feathers to make their wingspan bigger. I think that's it.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. It's wrong,
It's
though.
wrong.
Which one is right?
Ravens are often confused with crows.
Yeah.
But ravens are about 2.5 times larger than crows.
Dude, they're huge.
Isn't that crazy?
I love ravens. They can talk, too.
A good way to tell the difference between the two is their tails.
Okay.
Ravens have a round
the
tail.
same.
Crows have a squarish tail.
Okay. Crows have a square.
Yeah.
Ravens have rounded. Okay.
But you're right. They are 2.5 times larger.
Dude, they're
which is
huge.
crazy to think about that. Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff right there. Okay. Anyways.
Really quick, before we go.
Can you get me here? Can you get me here?
Guess the code.
Just get it done. Come on, dude. I got my time is money, man. Look at this. Look at the service. Look at the service.
There we go. Really quick, this is a video of a crow talking like a person. Oh my gosh.
It's playing music.
He does all sorts of voices. He say hi, hi,
Hi.
job. And sometimes he hears people who have a cold. Good job, Miss.
He just coughed too. His name is Mischief.
Ew.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding.
Pop
They're
off.
very smart. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Now you're not talking anymore.
That bird dumb, man.
Mischief.
He got a bird brain.
They're
okay.
crazy.
Anyways.
They can make like laser noises. It's sick.
Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, Yeah, so it kind of flashes back to like how they met. It's really cute, whatever. So like they end up exchanging letters and like poetry, and they make like a little pact because they're little kids and they're cute, and they run away together. And also too, like I'm going to highlight too. So Susie has a very large family.
Yes.
She lives in a really, really, really sick house.
Such a dope,
it's a lighthouse house, and it's huge. The upper floor has original wood floors too, which is crazy. It's so legit. Yeah. It's a beautiful home, and she's just kind of like sitting up there with her, like, she has really cool belongings, I would say. We'll get into that later. But she just like hangs out, and she's just writing letters and being cute, you know, like just like him. And he's like doing his thing. So they write this pack, and they just, you know, both feel like outcasts, and they just want to get the hell out of there and, you know, whatever. So, and anyways, you know, Sam takes all his, like, his backpack and, like, all his, like, I don't know, his like khaki scout supplies, his like stuff that he needs.
He's like prepared for the outdoors.
He's like, he's a wilderness kid. He's a good scout. Like
he really is. Like when him and Susie go off, like he's like good.
Right.
He's like, I know what we need to do.
He knows what's up. So he does that. Susie brings like random things. She brings like a suitcase full of bugs, a cat, in like a really weird carrier.
It's like an old timey like bug collecting. Box.
She brings her record player. Yeah, it's like super weird, but she brings funny, she just brings like little girl things, and it's funny.
So weird.
And basically, they find this like really cool little like area, and it's like a beach, and it's like a cove area.
Bitch.
And they call it Moonrise Kingdom, and they have like a little thing, and they make like a sign. It's cute.
It's
and
really
it
cute.
shows them they like dance together, and like he pierces her ears, which is really disgusting.
He literally just shoves. Oh, he makes the earrings out of fish hooks and beetles.
Yeah.
And then he just shoves the fish hook in her ear.
Yeah.
It's a little low for my taste.
Yeah.
I have a funny story I need to tell you after this. It's a secret story. But before I tell you that secret story, I have a question for you.
All right.
Were you ever a Boy Scout?
I remember Wolf Scouts.
That sounds
And
cool
I
as
also
heck.
remember a hood car race.
That was in
Anthony
Cub
did.
Scouts.
No, it was Wolf Scouts. I'm positive because the thing that was on the you know the metal piece that you put on your bandana thing that you have around your, you know what I'm talking about?
Ascot clasp? Yes.
It
had a wolf on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a Wolf Scout, but I did it when we were in Cub
I
Scouts.
don't remember, but we did a lot of outdoor stuff with my dad.
Yeah.
Like we camped a lot.
Well, yeah, you lived in the great outdoors.
And that, but also not so much there actually. My stepmom, her parents live in Indiana on a farm.
Oh, sick.
And we would camp. Like we would like sit in like their like little trailers and stuff, and like we would like cowboy camp, and like our dad would camp with us. It was super fun.
Heck yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, and then obviously as an adult I've camped a lot. Yeah.
I am jealous of that.
But it can go either way. That's the hard thing about
Very
camping.
true.
Is
Very
it can
true.
be like the best or it can be the worst, dude.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And it's like you're gonna have the right people, you gotta be in the right mood. It's gotta be good weather. Like you gotta be like prepared.
You
know
have
what I mean? It's like,
you have a not so funny Dan Pemble camping story.
yeah, I have a ton of weird camping stories.
Yeah.
Things can that's the thing. Is like things happen on camping trips.
You've
and you gotta be
lived
prepared
so much
for things.
life. It's crazy.
Yeah. What about you?
In case you were gonna ask me, I
just did.
I was in Cub Scouts. We did the
car races?
pine car derby.
Yeah.
Get off my foot. I did not win. Big surprise. I remember I went with my friend Cam. He got second
Killicam?
place.
Like
Cameron.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cameron.
Yeah.
We went there. And I remember because like he did it and we were like really proud of it. He built it by himself. Well, he built it with his dad. It was really cute. He built everything and I went with him just because I was like his best friend. So we went and he did the race and we're like, okay, that was pretty good. And they're like, all right, we're going to like announce the winners and hand out the trophies. They're like, in third place, so-and-so, what's his face? And I look at Cam and I'm like, all right, like you didn't win. Like, and that's fine. Like if you didn't get third place, like there's no way. And they're like, okay, in second place, Cameron Sucott. And they're like, what? And we like lost it, dude. That was so cool.
He like just
He
like
got-
freaked
yeah,
out,
dude, he
tore
got
his shirt
second
off.
place.
Yeah, I got you.
He just started kicking and punching other 6-year-olds.
He's crazy.
It was awesome. It was really, really sick. And then I remember when we were really, really young, my family does not like camping. Like,
I could
at
see
all.
that being
Yeah.
that way.
My grandparents, my father's mother and father had a motorhome. So we took the motorhome places, but we never got to like sleep in the motorhome. Like we would sleep in tents and my grandparents would sleep in the motorhome.
Sure.
We might have slept in it. I don't remember. The only thing I remember, there was one camping trip, and my parents are going to like tear me apart when I tell this story because I'm telling it completely wrong because I don't remember it. But we went camping. The only thing I remember about when we went camping was it was right after we went to England. And while we were in England, I got this rusty old lock. Because I was just like a weird kid that liked weird stuff. And like the thing that I wanted from England was this lock.
Okay.
And I was like playing with it the entire time we were camping. And like that's all I remember from that. Is like I had this lock and I was just like, unlock it,
Yeah,
unlock it, and unlock it, unlock it. And I just
cool.
loved it. It was really, really cool.
It's like a fidget.
That's all I remember. Yeah.
Fidget tool.
It was
before
literally a fidget toy before fidget toys were a
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, it was really fun. I love motorhomes. It's so annoying because like if you were to buy a motorhome, you think like, oh, that's like $80,000, $90,000. No, it's like
they're
like
super.
$300,000.
It's a house. They
It's
can
like
move.
where are you
Yeah.
getting? Like this is a second mortgage
Yeah,
if
they
you
take out
buy
a loan, they pay
this.
it for the rest of their lives, man.
Dude,
Come on.
I can't
Come on,
believe it,
dude,
but
you
they're
know.
so sick. I love them. I think it'd be really cool.
You know.
Honestly, like you have a pickup truck, I have a sport utility vehicle. I want to get one of those like car top campers. I'm a
Yeah,
big
those are
girl
cool.
though. I don't want to climb on top of my car. That scares me. But I want to like
You
camp
can
in my
get the
car.
one that's collapsible, and then you just open it up and you go in there.
They have really cool ones because it like folds up and
Yeah.
then it folds out
Right.
and then it has like a little ladder that you climb up. I want to do that. I think it'd be really fun.
It'd be sweet.
I want to try it. I always talk with Casey about going camping, but it's never going to happen.
It would be fun. Do you want to hit us with part 2? Part 2?
You know I'd love to. I do gotta gotta move that a little bit. So, Susie and Sam, they run off. They're having a great time out in ye old wilderness. During that time, though, Susie's parents, the police captain, Captain Sharp, and Scoutmaster Ward, who's played by Edward Norton. Oh, and Captain Sharp is played by, what's his face?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce.
Yeah. Bruce.
Well, who is Susie's parents? Homegirl McDermott.
What? Her
Her
Bill
parents.
Murray.
Bill Murray
And that lady from Fargo. I don't remember her name.
Homegirl McDermott.
All right.
So they launch a search for the children using Ward's scouts, who eventually catch up but are fended off by Sam and Susie. They're all trying to find them. Obviously, all of the scouts are like, well, we can also be in the wilderness. So they're chasing after them in the wilderness. They end up finding each other. And like the main mean boy scout is like, we found you. So like they like get in a tussle. This little boy,
It's pretty violent.
this little boy gets stabbed, dog. He gets stabbed in his
dog
like,
gets
side.
killed. Like it's
Oh, poor
it's
dog. He
crazy.
gets shot with an
Yeah.
arrow.
He gets
Yeah.
gets run over with a motorcycle. Like,
Dude, it's
yeah,
intense.
It's like a brutal child battle. Yeah.
A literal child
It's
battle, but there
hilarious.
is death. There's
Yeah.
losses on both
There
sides.
is, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they catch up, but like Sam and Susie fight him off. Everything's good. They end up getting away again. So Sam's foster parents kind of hear about all this,
Right.
and they're like, "We're good. We don't want him back." He's like, weirdo.
They say we actually won't be inviting him back.
We won't be inviting him back,
Right,
which is so
yeah.
mean. But the
So
funniest thing
messed
is,
up, yeah.
like, the scoutmaster calls him and like, hey, he went missing. And they're like, oh, that's fine. You should check your mail. We sent you a letter. And literally before any of this happened, they sent a letter to the scoutmaster saying, like, we don't want him back.
Like, we're good.
We won't be inviting him back, which
Yeah.
is like garbo
Super
the clown.
weird. Yeah,
So
super
mean.
weird. Yeah.
So just like super awkward and uncomfy and just weird.
Even like Bruce Willis has a hard time with it because he's like,
Yeah, he's like,
"What?"
wait,
yeah, like
what?
he's like, what are you talking about?
dude,
yeah, like it's so funny.
what?
Yeah, even Edward Norton, both of them are like, what do you do? Like it's super weird.
So
yeah.
funny.
Anyways, go ahead.
Making no sense. So they end up, Sam's foster parents refuse to take him back, and then social services obviously gets involved, and they plan. Social services plans to place him in a juvenile refuge, which concerns Captain Sharp, the police Captain Sharp, and Scoutmaster Ward, because they hear at this like specific refuge they're going to use like shock therapy, and they're both like, okay, he's like an odd kid, we don't need to use like shock therapy on him, like he's just like a like silly goose,
Right.
Don't start like abusing the kid. They were like super not about that, and they're like really kind of confused.
Pop quiz.
Oh no, it's about children abuse.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Ben. You're gonna love it.
Lay it on me
Are you
thick.
ready? Okay, so back in the early days of the century, conditions of orphanage.
Early days of the century, so like 2002, 2003.
Exactly. No, like in
Okay.
the I think it's the
1920s, 1930s.
Yeah, 1900s.
Okay.
Early 1900s. You got me off track. Conditions at orphanages tended not to be good. What is the typical punishment for, and I quoted this because this is what they were called back then, inmates who misbehaved?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Is
Japanese water torture.
Is it A, electroshock therapy to make the inmates more docile? B, they would they would strike the children's hands with a thick leather strap.
My mom did that to me one time.
C, orphans would be strapped to their beds for a day or multiple days at a time. D, they would have orphans kneel on uncooked rice or seeds till they would embed themselves into the children's knees.
I've heard of all of these. So the kneeling on rice, I have heard before. I think they did that for prisoners of war. I think in the Korean War or something. Like, I know that happened. Strapping to beds, I actually read about that in The Girl Who Played with Fire, which is the second of the Millennium Trilogy, which is the Girl with Dragon Tattoo books.
Yeah.
Electroshock therapy, I think, was a thing. All of these are like viable things. I think they did them all.
So all of these except one I made up in my head. So I didn't research those things. Yeah.
Which one did
No.
you? Which one is
No,
real?
because the thing is that we're talking about. You have to keep in mind too. We're talking about orphanages, and we're not talking about a psych ward. We're not talking about.
Okay, I think
you know,
they did strap the kids down. I think that happened.
in their beds.
Yes.
That's wrong. You were right when the first time. So they would slap their hands with leather
okay.
straps.
That's stupid.
Many orphanages were highly regimented.
Okay.
Especially in the early century, children they would march to meals, which they were only allowed to eat in silence. They were also expected to wear uniforms and shave their heads. Many adults looking back on this claimed that they always recall being hungry.
Well, yeah.
Never fed them enough.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So electroshock therapy, obviously, I was like, well, that has to be it because they're talking about it in this movie. And then being strapped onto the bed, that's what Lisbeth's first like psychiatrist did to her in those books. And then the kneeling on rice, that is a thing.
That's something I actually saw in SVU.
Okay. Yeah, it's something that they did to like prisoners of war.
Ooh, it would hurt.
Yeah,
It would hurt right away.
Uncooked
That's the thing that
rice?
sucks is it's not like they act like in time it would hurt. It's
You
like it would
could-
literally immediately
you could hear
hurt.
any of the state's secrets.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
did that to
God.
me, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
telling you everything.
No.
You're getting the whole kit.
You're like,
and
what do
caboodle,
you
dude.
want to know?
I will literally tell you everything.
Go ahead.
So they're like bummed that he's going to get shock therapy.
Yeah.
So Susie's parents like kind of overhear all this and they
Yeah.
get pissed. So they start like framing Sam for kidnapping and for like the violence. Although
Right.
Susie was the one who stabbed the kid.
I know.
Like she's kind
She's
of
kind
a
of unhinged.
bad girl.
Yeah. Girl's a
Captain
sociopath.
Sharp ends up taking temporary custody of Sam.
Right.
He's just like, listen, like once like social services gets here, I'm just gonna like take him over. I don't want him to be like he's just like a troubled kid. He doesn't know what's going on. Like everything's fine. Like I don't want him to like have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure he's like good and he wants to be like a good role model.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna try to come up with like another really cool question, but I couldn't. I was gonna try to do it right off the cuff. Do you have a question for me, Chase?
I'm just like reflecting right now, and because it's like it would be so like imagine having Like, I feel like, so when I was researching orphanages,
What a great thing to spend your time doing. Oh, so when I was researching orphanages in the turn of the century.
right? Well, they don't do that, of course, anymore, right? So like they stopped doing that. The only thing that they do now, really the closest possible thing, is like a really large operation that would be like a foster situation.
Okay.
It would not. It wouldn't. They would still have a foster home. Like it's
Say,
not like
orphanages aren't like a thing.
No, they're not at all. They're like not
Okay.
like they're just foster now.
Okay.
So in some capacity, that whatever that means.
In the U.S. or global?
I think U.S.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming there's orphanages. In
I
other
don't
parts of the
talk
world.
about anywhere that Santa doesn't go. If Santa doesn't go there, it doesn't really matter. So, anyways,
and that's the
let's
takeaway
move
for this
on.
episode,
Let's move
kids.
on. Anyway,
Just
kidding. But yeah, so now there's no orphans. They're disintegrated. But when I was thinking about that, I was
no
like, imagine
orphans.
being a child and like being like somewhere like that and already having to deal with like possibly feeling like you weren't wanted, and then you're in this place that's like
Where they're like
it basically punishes you for not having parents,
Dude, it's
essentially.
like Annie, man.
Yeah,
Miss
like
Hannigan's just beating you
yeah.
up.
And originally what they were for, what I was reading about, were children of people that died in wars.
Oh, that makes
That's
sense.
because most
There's a
like,
lot.
yeah, because if you think about it, like most people were pretty conservative and traditional back then. Like people wouldn't just give away their kids. Like that's it was pretty rare. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like the same as like getting
100%.
divorced or anything like that. People just didn't do it as much.
Well, people
Yeah,
didn't do it as
so-
much, and they were like,
plus-
we are getting together to have kids.
Yeah,
to
and
further
plus
the
I don't
line.
think
That's
there's
all
like
that
many
matters.
options for you, like to just
No.
get rid. You know what I mean? It's not like you can just like I don't know. So yeah, so I think that like
Leave them at a
yeah.
church.
So originally it was like you had parents like mom and dad, or mom died, dad went to the war, he died. You don't have any parents.
You're out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That, like it'd be like that kind of situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's just sad. Yeah, like it's
That's
just
very
really
sad.
Yeah, like that would mess. you
Who
up
would
a
have
lot.
thought that researching orphanages would really kind of bring your day down?
I mean, Batman's an orphan, so that's why I thought it would be
yeah. Why aren't you guys being like Batman?
the orphans. I'm not going to talk about that. All right. So, yeah. So that was my reflection of part 2. That would be so sad. That would be the worst because it would just like really
Hot take, Chase.
It would no, it would just confirm like your like negative feelings,
Your
about yourself.
worthlessness.
Like until you were old enough to go out in the world, and then by the time you're old enough to go out in the world, you'd have so much psychological problems.
Oh, 100%.
So like it would be you know it would just.
But this is the
be
20s and
worst.
30s. They just dealt with their problems by
Yeah.
drowning it in booze.
Anyway, so like Sam's, everyone's starting to realize that like Sam's actually a really good kid and he's just
Yeah.
different. And like it sucks because like he doesn't have any parents and like all these other kids, like they do have, let's just say, the privilege of having parents. And they
100%.
kind of start realizing like, okay, we're kind of being jerks to this kid.
Yeah.
And
Thank
he is a
God.
scout. He is on our team. He's still
Yeah.
a scout. Like
he's
that's
a party y'all.
Right. And that's like kind of cool because like you start to see like them work as a team. So because they help him like they help him and Susie escape so that they can like be together and like do their thing. And they really work together. They look like scouts, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they got like the whole military thing going on.
The whole military thing.
And I think that kind of shows you like
Edward Norton is a very devoted leader to these kids. So like
He
he's
really
just doing
is.
his thing.
He's
yeah.
a great scoutmaster.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. Pop quiz.
Oh my gosh.
I'm hitting you hard today. I'm just going pow, 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 just rapid fire. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't know.
You are
This
in
is
charge
a
of
light
these.
one. This is a light one. It doesn't
Thank
come
God.
with a lot of info, people, but
being
it's a light
warm.
one. What is the only one of its kind ever to be found at a Boy Scouts camp? So it's one of a kind. It never ever was found ever again. It was one thing. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. A, the oldest primate dating back about 2 million years in Africa.
That's not right.
Yeah. B, pieces of a solid gold and jade necklace from the Wajabi tribe about 2,000 years old.
That's sick.
Yeah. C, the only documented T-Rex footprint was uncovered. D, a long sword believed to belong to Attila the Hun.
Okay, I have two different things. I think it's either option B or option D because I don't think you would come up with like the name of a tribe. That's just me knowing you. And I swear I heard somewhere that there was a story about a Boy Scout group that like found this like relic, like this sword. So I'm gonna say option B. They found the jade necklace.
That I did make that try.
I'm batting 1,000 today. You like stumbled over the names. So I was like, you didn't
really
make it
take
up.
time with these.
God,
I really
I'm so
try.
sick
I
of
try
you.
to throw you off the scent.
Is it the
and
sword?
No.
Screw my drag. Okay, what is it then?
It's the T-Rex footprint.
BS.
Yeah, the only T-Rex footprint ever to be found was at a Boy Scout camp. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Which camp?
I don't remember. It was
Camp Wanapanoke.
Wanapinocchio.
Wamapoke. Those are
But yeah, isn't that
that's
cool?
the Indian.
Anyways,
tribe.
thank you for that. Okay, then what
crazy.
happens is they're going
Right back
away.
in it.
A violent storm breaks out, and it's like
Violente.
super intense. And they're in the wilderness, so it's like
Oh,
not
yeah.
like they don't have like the type of coverage that you would need. They have like Boy Scout coverage, though there are like
Khaki Scout
structures that are
coverage.
larger.
Yeah.
For like
Wigwams.
provisions and things like that. Like
Yeah.
like it's still not like prepared for like a tornado
Yeah.
scale storm, right?
Dude, it
Like, of
rips
course
through this
not.
island like crazy.
It's pretty gnarly. It's
Yeah.
a huge tropical storm.
Yeah.
And basically what happens is it's like through a giant like series of events.
Teague's big body is trying to. He's looking out the window.
Oh yeah, he's probably looking for Nev.
Yep. She just. Yay.
So his body is Sam's body is things are going crazy because they're trying to get out of there and everything's
Yeah.
going nuts. He gets struck by lightning.
yeah.
and
He like
gets-
runs away and he's
he-
like, I'm gonna like protect myself. I'm
Yeah,
gonna, like,
and he
be out
gets
for
struck
myself. Like,
by
come get
lightning
me.
to the point where like it launches him.
Oh, he
like,
gets
it looked like he
messed
died
up.
immediately.
Yeah.
Honestly, really, it did.
Yeah.
And like it flashes to him, and he's charred.
He's all
like,
zapped up, doggy.
He's charred. Pop quiz.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Last one of the season. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
So ready.
What is the most common injury sustained when struck by lightning? There's
is gonna
many
be so
injuries.
weird.
This is the most common injury. Okay. A, severe burns. B, brain injuries. C, spinal injuries. D, ruptured organs.
I think it's ruptured organs.
Incorrect.
I'm so good at my job. Is it burns?
No, the most
Spine
common
injury.
the most common is brain injury, actually.
I'm jumping into the freeway.
When people are struck by lightning, they can suffer a number of injuries,
Okay.
including the following: blown eardrums, paralyzed respiratory systems. That's scary.
That makes sense.
Second-degree burns.
Yeah.
Too.
I didn't
These-
think burns would be that crazy because it just like the energy just like flows right through you.
Well, they're second degree, so they're not like super gnarly. They are referred to as I'm getting. Are you ready for this?
Pop off.
They're referred to as carana graphic burns.
Can I see the word?
Caranographic burns.
Coronographic.
Caranographic.
Ariana Grande burns?
Caranographic. So that's the word, caranographic. That's how
too
it's
much.
pronounced. I wrote it down so I
Oh,
could take
look at you
yeah.
go.
But that's caranographic.
Coronographic. That's crazy.
They're also nicknamed lightning flowers, lightning trees. So they're like literally shaped like lightning, the burns, and they're like scars, and they stay like that. And they usually show up on shoulders, chest, neck, and back.
I think one of my sister Megan's friends got struck by lightning.
That's
I
scary.
think. Megan, did Anna get struck by lightning?
Maybe we should watch the movie Powder, and we can talk about that movie.
Powder?
Oh, I hate that movie. It traumatized me when I
Powder?
was a child.
What happened?
It's just gross. It's like this albino kid that gets struck by lightning. And he gets bullied a lot. It's the worst.
What
And
a-
you know who plays him?
Oh.
Is that dude that is Vision. The dude that's Vision
I
is
love
Powder.
him. What's
It's
his name?
So
I'll pull it
sad.
up. He
It's such
is an
a sad
albino.
movie.
He plays an albino in 2 different movies.
I don't know. No,
Because
it's
doesn't
like,
he play an
it's-
albino in
No,
that one movie?
No. He's not an albino. No.
What movie do you think I'm talking about?
You're talking about Legion.
No.
Priest?
No. The one with the book, Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code? He's in that? I don't know.
Let me look it up.
Okay,
Wait.
I don't know.
Da Vinci?
Yes.
Isn't he? There's an albino in that, I swear. Yeah, Paul Bettany. Is he an albino? Let me look this up really quick. Is Silas an albino?
Okay, anyways, while you're looking that up, I'm going to finish this out for us, okay?
Silas, a self-flagellating devout albino monk.
Ew.
How you gonna play an albino in two different movies?
I don't know.
I'd be like, I'm getting typecast, City
Yeah.
Hall. I need to get out in the sun.
So, anyways, Sam gets struck by lightning, but seems to be okay.
He's like totally good. He's like
It kind of just like jars him a little
riles
bit.
him up a little bit.
And basically, the storm is not breaking, so they hide in a chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
the
it's
whole
a really
island
cool
starts
little
going to the chapel. I feel
yeah,
like, yeah.
Unfortunately, like the chapel does end up collapsing. Like I said, it's a really intense storm.
Yeah.
That being said, everything passes over. Everybody's good. It's kind of like a high point, and then it chills out.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it took like the storm to kind of ravage through the land for them to be like, all right, like we've got
gotta
like
come
more
together.
important things we need to deal with. Let's like kind of figure this out and go.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice ending
Which is
because
cute.
basically what ends up happening is Bruce Willis ends up being Sam's legal guardian. And then he gets to stay on the island, and then he gets to visit Susie at her parents' house. And like it's really nice. You get to see like a painting of their little cove, and it runs.
Yeah.
It's a really cute little movie.
He does really cool
Yeah.
paintings.
Yeah.
Actually, there's an artist who did all of the paintings of those. I looked it up. I didn't include it in the fun facts, but an actual artist went through and did all of those paintings.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
It's kind of like a two-parter.
All right.
Do you remember like tornado drills when you were at school?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, like tell me some stories about it. Tell me like, were you like a scaredy cat? Were you like, oh, this is nothing, I don't really
Oh,
care?
we were
Like, how did you
like
handle it?
nonchalant about it. It was super annoying for
Yeah.
us, and we would like do the thing, and then you always had that like one teacher that took it like super seriously,
Way
that like brought her
serious.
whistle out and everything. It was like right, she's like get out of here, just like go, you know,
The building's collapsing!
yeah, it's like you're all dead, you all died, you got to go back in and try it again. It's like super, yeah, like I hate that stuff. The thing that's hard is like as a kid, it teaches you not to take it seriously because it's so annoying that
100%.
you're just like I don't even care about this. And honestly,
Yeah.
if this was really crashing down, I would climb over all of you to get out of the store. Are you
Watch
kidding
me
me?
throw all
I
these
would,
rules
I
to
would
the wind.
literally
I am
evaporate in the
hauling
thin air
out
and
of
get
here.
out of here.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like I don't
dude.
care. I'm leaving you behind. Yeah.
Was that grade school or high school?
That was probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
High
Yeah.
school, we never really did, like, we didn't do, like, tornado drills, which is hilarious, but we did fire drills, and we had to get out of there.
Yeah.
And once we were, like, older, obviously we'd go into the parking lot, and then, like, people's cars were there. So
Yeah.
people would try to, like, sneak off to their cars, and, like, so many people got in trouble for that. I remember that.
You have a cellar, so your parents probably would be like hide in the cellar if there's.
We
a
don't have
tornado.
a cellar.
We have a
we have a
basement.
basement.
But is there anything in there? Like we have like a basement, but then there's like a little thing under the stairs, and then we called that the cellar at my grandma's house.
we couldn't fit in that. That's where all of my dad's canning supplies goes.
Oh,
No, we would
JS.
just go. No, I mean, if we were like together as a family, my parents would handle it. I had no idea what to do when I was a kid.
Yeah, your dad would arrest that tornado, dude.
Like, hey, well, speaking of,
like,
this is
"Don't."
kind of what I wanted to like piggyback off of. When we were younger, there was a gunman outside of our grade school. So in downtown Royal Oak, there was a man kitty corner from our school, like with a shotgun,
Ew.
like walking around. So I remember, like, my teacher was the one who found out about it. And he, like, looked outside and he's like, give me 2 seconds. And then, like, went out into the hallway. And then I remember my friend Tony was like, whoa, there's a guy out there with a gun. So we all got up and, like, looked out the window. Mr. Paul comes back in the room. He's like, everybody get on the floor right now.
He's like lay
And we all
down
had
on the
to get
ground.
on the ground. And then we army crawled upstairs to the gym.
That's scary.
The entire school was evacuated up to the gym. And this was before we redid the windows in the gym. So there was no windows up there. So we could just all be up there.
Yeah.
Because like the ground floor was actually like half a floor up.
Yeah.
So like we were pretty safe up there, but we had to go up to the gym to be like the safest. We were up there and I remember I was like trying to be a drama queen and like pull focus. So I just started like, and I just started like weeping and everyone's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, my dad's going to have to come and handle this. Because he was a police officer for Madison
You're like, my
Heights
dad's
and
gonna
not
come
Royal
kill
Oak.
this guy.
Yeah. And they're like, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
And they like got Megan and Megan was like, chill out.
Yeah.
And I was like, but dad. And she's like, shut up. And then everything was fine.
So
I have
dad
no
won't
idea what
even
happened.
come and see if
Yeah,
everything's
dude,
okay.
he was a detective. What is he
Working,
gonna do?
dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I had no idea what happened, but yeah, it was wild.
It is wild. But no, the movie is a really nice movie. It's a good,
It's great.
good movie, and it's an hour and a half. You should definitely check it out.
It's such
definitely
a
worth
good
it.
movie.
Yeah, it's a good
I
feel-good
really,
movie.
really
Everyone
enjoyed
could use
it.
good feel goods. It's good. It's
Seriously,
good to
we
have
just
that.
need to like chill out a little bit
Yeah.
nowadays, huh?
So we are going. Nev, Ben, and I are going to.
We never talked about what we
Comic-Con-
were doing. Yeah,
Comic-Con on Sunday. We will be there. I'm excited to go. This is my second year going.
I'm so excited.
really
My
pumped.
first year.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm gonna buy Star Wars stuff.
I'm gonna buy more 3D printed weapons probably. And
What the hell?
You're not,
Heck.
hey, well, I have my 3D
Sorry,
printer is
Elsu.
kind of slacking. You know, so
You
I
haven't
can't-
put an order in or paid me
I
for
have
the
put
last
many,
two.
many orders in.
What do you want?
I want a Walther PPK.
I can do that.
I want a neuralizer.
That I was gonna print that for your birthday. It's so annoying because they're having you print
know.
every single piece
know.
and then you have to put it together and there's springs and stuff. Get out of my face.
I want it. I want to do it.
Just buy one.
No, I want a lot of things. I want a
know.
lot of James Bond knick-knack, paddywhacks. I want a lot of stuff. Anyways,
N-Dog, N-Bone.
so we'll go. I'm excited for all of us to go.
I'm so
excited for
excited.
Neveline to go this year because she didn't go last year either. So I'm excited.
Ugh.
And it's, oh my God, last year they had a booth. I think I might have told you this. That was all Egyptian art.
Yeah.
It was sick, honestly. But every
Dude,
time
you
I
got me the key to the Book of the Dead.
yeah, but anytime I wanted, like they had cool like papyrus, like it was
Yeah.
paintings. They had a cool one. They would be out. They'd be running out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, but
I hope they're back.
yeah,
That's
me
super
too.
cool.
It was sweet. They had a ton.
They have a list of vendors. You can look it up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, we're also going on a Sunday, so
True. But yeah, we're doing that. I'm excited. Anyways, what are we talking about next week?
you know, I wish I could tell you. Let's pull up our master list. Boop 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 boop. I hope that if we go to The Dish with Chase and Ben, why does it not go up there? That's so annoying. Season 4, I need to like pin this to the top. Did you pin? Yes, you did. Next, we are watching the movie Old Boy.
Ooh, with Josh Brolin. It's a remake
It's a
of
remake.
a Korean movie, but
We decided to not
I'm not
do
gonna
another
spoil
Korean
it for
movie.
anybody. But if anybody has watched the Korean one or the other one and not the other one though, they both have different endings. Just so everybody knows that.
Which is crazy.
But they're both really good endings, but they have different endings.
oh my gosh, I forgot. It's got Elizabeth Olsen in this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
Old Boy.
great
It's the
movie.
2013 one.
It's fantastic.
Samuel L's in it. There's a lot.
What is it on? Is it on anything? Is it streaming?
No, of course not.
Oh, it's worth it. That one's really
It's great.
That one's really worth
Michael
it.
Imperioli
Yeah.
is in this movie
Yep.
too. There's
Yeah.
so many famous people in this movie.
Christopher. Yeah.
Rami
anyways.
Malek and Lance Reddick are in this movie.
I know.
Reddick.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm so excited to watch this movie again.
I know.
I've seen it before. I'm so excited.
So yeah, so we'll watch that, and everybody else try to get up to date on that one. That's a great one.
Yeah.
and we'll chat soon.
We're watching this movie, and then from what I can remember, what's wrong with it?
You have like one hair that was like hanging down, a big
Man,
beard hair. It's
I wish,
right there.
I wish my barber could handle that for me. I am going to let me look this up again because I think this movie is coming out obviously Monday, the day that I'm going to see Shoresy.
Yeah.
And then Old Boy comes out the 18th, which is next week. And then we have 1 week off. And then we're doing 3 in December.
Yep.
There's going to be one kind of like spooky, scary. There's going to be one that's very Christmas. And then one movie that we've been alluding to this entire season. They will be ending the season with that. So guys, after this episode, we only have 4 more episodes of the season.
Yep.
Better get catched up and catched up. Blech.
Yeah, dude. Subscribe. We're on YouTube and
Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And if you want us anywhere else, too bad. I do it all myself.
True.
All by myself.
Thank you for
Chase does
listening, everybody.
nothing.
Have a wonderful night, and I'm gonna break this whole stuff down by myself.
No, you're not. I'm going to help out because I didn't
just
set
kidding.
up anything today.
And
then I'm going to get ice cream.
ice cream. Thank you.
Ow.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Take good care.
Bye.
Take care. Brush your hair.